No, you're good.
Live from East Nashville, New York, in the heart of the Center City, just outside of America's City. This is the one, the only Mike Jrod Show. With your host, Jrod Scott, and guest co-host, IT expert, weather superstar, and statistics genius, His Majesty, King Ray Gunn.
All right, great to be here.
Ray Gunn.
Yes, sir.
How exciting is this?
This is
Running a little bit late like always. Every time we do these off-sites, it always feels like I'm like racing against the gun.
yeah, it's all good.
But we are rocking and rolling now.
Well, you know, I had to put my broadcasting monitor to work at some point.
You had to do something with that.
That's right. Instead of sitting around just twiddling my thumbs. Yeah, excited to be here. Looking forward to talking some football. And
You did come next Tuesday, right? Whenever we did our Tuesday show.
yes, I
So we're about to find out how bad you've done so far.
We'll see how it goes. Who knows how I did.
See how much of a slacker you are going into this.
Considering I don't even remember it because it was Tuesday and I've slept since then, we'll have to just kind of wait and see what happens. These rivalry games, you just never know what's going to happen anyway, as we've already been able to tell from last night. So,
Yeah, what a game last night.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I have to ask. I don't know if you saw it. I was watching it on Facebook this morning. Looks like Elko had a little meltdown after the game. And
He had a nervous breakdown.
so they were doing an interview, and apparently they didn't shut the door. And Texas, he could hear all the Texas people. Can he just stop right and goes, can we please have a professional? Somebody shut that door. And it's just, I mean, so obviously he was not the greatest player. So, you know, he comes to Texas and you don't want to play with the same guy.
That's what happens. That's what happens when your rival gets added to the conference.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's a good rivalry to have Texas in there. I'm not a Texas fan, so if anybody's watching that is a Texas fan, I'm sorry. But, you know, after the game, they also talked about wanting Texas to be into the college football playoff. Here's my thing on that. If you want to be in the playoff, don't lose to a 3-8 team. I mean, it's that obvious.
Don't lose to a loser Florida, right?
That's right. You know, you go on the road.
Don't lose to the Gators.
You talk about, oh, well, we played Ohio State. Well, guess what? You did play the game. You lost.
You lost.
And you also got Florida. And you lost. And you lost. Now, that's two of those in the top five.
Too bad.
Because there's just no need for that. So
The Ray Gun throwing things wisdom.
that's right. Well, you know, I mean, it's just like last year. Alabama had 3 losses. Yes, they played well, but they had 3 losses. They didn't get in. So why is it that Texas gets any different? Like, there should be no different with them.
I think I've termed it the Mike rule because Michael says there's no way any 3-loss team should ever make it.
No.
And that was what he's such a huge Vandy fan. Even being a huge Vandy fan, he's like, hey, we might get 3 losses today and we lose to Tennessee, but if we get 3 losses, then we're not going to go.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm still under the hope and the dream that a 3-loss team is going to go in there. But,
Yeah, it's going to take either expansion to 16 teams and 3 losses.
oh yeah, somebody went to conference championship right now.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Or with the Power 5 outstanding spot, right?
Right. Yeah. So, and that very well could happen. I mean, it depends on what happens in the ACC. You've got, you know, still all kinds of scenarios today with the games going on. So you just have no idea who's going to get in. I saw a list and it had like, if this team did this and had all this stuff. So like there's 5 teams that can get in the ACC championship game right now, at least.
5?
At least 5. So.
Does that include Miami?
Yeah, but Miami
Because they act like Miami is the one that's going to win the conference. Because you see the CFP app comes out every time, and they put Miami in the ACC spot.
Well, that's because they don't know and actually, I hope they beat some games.
Speaking of, what are we looking at live games right now? We've got Kentucky, Louisville coming on right now, and Clemson, South Carolina.
Yes.
Do either one of those have a fancy name?
Well, we do have a Clemson fan over here. She's showing off her shirt.
Uh-oh,
so.
We got some Clemson rocking in here.
That's right. Go Clemson, she says. Well,
I'd say Clemson has a pretty good opportunity this weekend to make something happen.
yeah, definitely.
Beamer's going to have to figure his life out.
Well, Beamer is might be beamering somewhere else. I might be beaming him out of South Carolina if he's not careful. Like, good grief. I'm telling you, some of the things that happen this year, like I said in the comments before, you got more sellers who
North Sellers is one of the ones at the very beginning of the season that they're going to, Moore is going to be the greatest season.
Well, it's funny. That show they had other than Vanderbilt, have all stunk it up this year. Because you look at LSU, what have they done? Nothing. They just lost. They don't even have a coach anymore. And they're
fired.
And their coach that or their quarterback that was supposed to be the Heisman front runner. Guess what? Yeah, no. Yeah, he didn't have any money now. They said get out.
No
of here.
money now.
So I don't know if you saw, they did fire him 4 calls. So they finally were able to get that.
Oh, they did.
LSU fired him 4 calls. I saw that. Yeah.
So what did they classify as the call?
Now, when he came to LSU, the expectation rises, and then you go out there and you lose all those games. Like, he lost to Alabama, I think, 3 out of the 4 years that they played. So
brutal.
Yeah. And, I mean, they did schedule tough games. I mean, they went to Clemson to start the year, but their offense just was never – I mean, my team here, look, I'm going to go ahead and rep Western – where's the camera we can see? Western Kentucky today.
I think it's over.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Western Kentucky.
The terrible towel.
And I will tell you, this towel, they gave me when I was there. Of course, I'm the one first things that you get. This one is LSU or Western dropped a touchdown. If the quarterback, they did a trick play and the quarterback dropped the ball. Had they scored that, it might have been a different game. Western could have won. So I don't know much what they're going to do. They're going to have to get somebody in there that knows how to coach offense because LSU definitely doesn't have that right now.
Talking about LSU, huh?
They stinking it up right now on offense.
So when we start talking about like out of conference games, right? One of the big dramas for all the Texas talk about national championship discussion. The real question is, should SEC teams be scheduled in Ohio State? Because that was his comment. Was, hey, let's say they didn't win the Florida, right? They would still have 2 losses, one of which would be an out of conference that's a big time team.
And then secondly, you did schedule a Power 5, and they are ranked number 1. So,
So if they had beaten Florida,
yeah, then they would be in the conversation. Yes,
easily,
yeah, but they didn't. And you can argue until you're blue in the face, but or for
now
Texas.
who was Bama's loss last year that everybody was like, oh.
Vanderbilt. and Oklahoma. So they lost to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma, who both were 6-5, I believe, or 6-6.
So speaking of that, we're talking about Vanderbilt, Tennessee. So let's figure this out. Vanderbilt beats Tennessee. Right now, they're still outside looking in.
Right. So
Are they going to be inside it whenever that happens?
it's interesting because I was watching Game Day this morning, and they were talking about that game, and they did mention right now Vanderbilt has a 10% chance to get into the playoff. With
10%?
With a
win
No,
at Tennessee.
that's right, currently.
Oh, currently. Okay.
If they win, it only goes up to 26%.
You're kidding
Which
me.
means they, for some reason, do not value Vanderbilt's wins. And I don't understand why.
But you look at Vanderbilt, they played South Carolina, they played Missouri. So against the top 10 or top 25,
They got more quality wins.
They're 3-2 against the top 25. Yeah, so you've got 2 losses against top 25 teams, but you also have 3 wins. Now,
And they'd be 4-2 if they beat Tennessee today.
yes, but you compare that to a Miami who has no quality wins against anybody except for Notre Dame at the beginning of the year. And you've got, definitely a tougher schedule for Vanderbilt. So if you look at Miami,
so they had Notre Dame and Florida State
Were they even ranked when they lost to them?
I don't remember. I think a little bit. And SMU. And they just put it. Outside of that, nobody else.
And they're playing Pitt right now.
They are playing Pitt. It's 3-0.
like Pitt's got the ball, about 4 minutes left in the first. So
You would think that Miami, being so good, would have already scored more than a field goal.
well, on the road,
almost to the end of the first.
let me just tell you, those ibis birds don't like cold, and it's like 20 degrees up there in Pittsburgh
Ibis
right now.
birds.
that dumb mascot they've got, whatever that ibis thing is, after a hurricane. So, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be. I think that's going to be a tight game.
Yeah, they didn't have an offense.
Very low-scoring game.
Yeah.
I feel like one of those where it's like we're going to just keep punting.
Yeah, or we get close enough, let's just kick a field goal, but that's about it. So, that was when I did get home and to watch that, that was kind of a boring game because it was just like, okay, is anybody going to do anything?
Anybody going to do anything?
Did the offenses forget that stay on the bus or something? Like, what happened here? So, yeah, that one was a tough one to watch, and then I did see Ole Miss.
All the drama with it. What do you think it's going
He stays at
situations, but I think he's got a good thing going in Ole Miss right now. I don't know why you would want to leave that. You're about to take them to the playoff, and I think that with that you've got built a solid team and you've been recruiting well. So I think that's going to definitely if he leaves, Ole Miss is going to they're probably going to lose some recruits over that. So, but honestly, if I had to guess,
I don't think LSU is that exciting. And it's not that it's not an exciting program. It's that you're going to have to rebuild it. You've built something already. And I don't think transfers, I mean, I guess now you could argue you take a hit from the original.
LSU players would stay, because if he brings all the Ole Miss players with him, how many of the LSU guys are going to stay. So you've got a lot of stuff you got to consider too with recruiting, and yeah, they've got the facilities and stuff, but I mean, so far what Ole Miss has done for him and what he's built up, like, why would you leave that? I don't know. I mean, I know he's left several other jobs before too. He was at USC and he left, and then he was at of course he was a coordinator at Alabama. All right, so we've got we're looking up at some scores right now. It looks like Michigan has just scored or is leading Ohio State 6-0 here. Ohio State tried to fake a punt, and I don't think they got it. So, all right. So while you were doing that, I was doing some score checking up there. Looks like Ohio State is losing to Michigan right now, 6-0. And the Pitt score is still 3-0 Miami right now. So, all right, we good?
Sorry, technical difficulties.
Some Jrod foolery over here, I see.
Of course, same old, same old.
That's right.
Okay, so when we look at the rest of the lineup today, right? So we've got the non-ranked teams within the SEC in this time slot, right?
Right.
At 2:30, we're looking at a doubleheader as well, right? We've got Oklahoma, LSU, Tennessee, Vanderbilt.
Right.
And then the nightcaps are going to be Arkansas is also at 2:30. Arkansas,
right,
Missouri.
So you got 3 games going on then.
And so when we look at those, are any of our games today, other than Alabama, playing into the national championship conversation?
No. I would say none of them are, except for Oklahoma. If Oklahoma loses, then they're out. So that's the only one of significance, I think, is if LSU can show up and have some offense. I expect that game will probably be pretty low scoring, to be honest.
Really?
LSU's defense does show up, and, they do have that. They have played well defensively the last few weeks, but offensively they're going to have to find something because it's not been there. It's just not. I mean, if you struggle against teams like Western Kentucky, then, I don't know what's going to happen. But, I mean, it's a big game, though. Like, for LSU, you can end, you could wreck somebody's season. Like, you could go in. And that's a lot of these rivalry games. You can go wreck somebody's season because you go in there and beat them. So
you think there'll be enough motivation?
I don't think there's going to be a lack of motivation for LSU. I think they just need to – they're going to have to find offense. And they're going to have – I wouldn't be surprised to see some tricky plays, too. And, this coach is also –
Isn't that Nussmeier? Everybody thought Nussmeier was going to be another Heisman as well.
Yeah, this is one we were talking about earlier during the show. I mean, on the SEC show. Yeah, the Netflix one. Yeah, he was supposed to be, this Heisman candidate and do all these great things because he came back, and he's done a whole lot of nothing. So it's just stunk it up. But I don't know. I just think that sometimes you just put a lot of pressure on people. And, you got these guys that are 18, 19, 20 years old, and you think they're going to do all this
kids,
great stuff.
right?
Right. And then they go out there, and they make mistakes. And, LSU is definitely not the team they were last year. So, offensively they had a little bit few more weapons, but I don't know what's happened. It's just hard to describe. I've got friends that are LSU fans, and I don't think they have any idea.
You got a fan chatting in there.
Apparently, somebody, I guess a nephew or niece is saying hi to Uncle Reagan. Not sure who that is. That's probably somebody from my mom. So, hi, whoever that is. If it's Macy Owen, I only have 10 to choose from. So, Roll Tide. That's right. That's what we say. Roll Tide. So we've taught all of our
raised
nieces
them
and
raised them
nephews.
right to the tide, huh?
That's right. They all know Roll Tide. One of my nieces actually she bought a T-shirt the other day. She went out shopping with my mom and bought a shirt because she knew I would like it because it said Roll Tide on it. So, they know good and well what Uncle Reagan likes. So, and definitely some Roll Tide there.
So on Tuesday you did your picks.
Right. Did my picks on Tuesday.
So far, what are we looking at?
Well,
did Georgia Tech cover?
Georgia did not cover over Georgia Tech.
And you said
no cover. So
not
I
cover.
got that one right.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
Now, I did say that Ole Miss would cover over Mississippi State. So guess what? That's 2 for 2.
Man.
However, Texas A&M did not help me last night, and they did not cover. So
So no 8-0 for you,
where's
Red
the boo? Where's the boo? Yeah, that's what the crowd thinks about me and my pick over. They're saying horns up, not horns down. So, all right, but
yeah, the boo button goes on for a long time.
yeah, it's a lot of booing. I don't think the fans were real happy with my pick of Texas A&M. I just it looked like the first half they were going to win, and then second half they forgot to show up. Marcel Reed, local kid, just started turning the ball.
Marcel is a Nashville guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. So looks like we got an update here on the Kentucky-Louisville score. Louisville is up 10-0, and I do believe.
What did you pick on this one?
We'll have to go back and check. I don't remember. Let's see. I believe that I picked. Keep going.
Oh, this was one of the tight ones. Oh no, this one we didn't
do this one, did we? I don't think we did this one.
There was one we had to leave out. I guess it was this one.
Well, I will say this is probably why Louisville is winning. Miller Moss is back, and he'd been out for several games. But apparently Louisville had a lot of players that were out. So
is Stoops going to get fired?
No, I think he's safe.
Really?
I still think he's safe. I think that went.
That seems like a bold statement to me.
Well, if you look at Kentucky's last few weeks and their wins, except for when they didn't show up against Vanderbilt, they they do have some good wins, and I think that saved his job for now. There may be some discussion.
Yeah, I think they did have a couple surprises, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, you beat Auburn at Auburn. You beat Florida.
Both of those, I think they were actually expected to win. I think they blew Florida out.
Yeah.
Ironically, that's the same Florida team that's keeping Texas out of the mix, right?
So that any argument that Texas has just keeps going off a cliff.
It looks bad, worse.
When you lose to Kentucky, 38-7, then what are you going to do? So, but yeah, I mean, Kentucky's got a good. I mean, and they've been competitive in some of their games. I mean, I think the Texas game they lost in overtime, and they should have won that game, and that would have then Texas couldn't have anything else to say either. That was a game where they had 4 tries inside the one and somehow couldn't figure out how to get it in. I mean, good grief, do the tush push. Where's Jalen Hurts and his friends? Just get out there and do some pushing. Good grief, figure out a way to get in the end zone. So. It's just
do the tush push.
Do the tush push or the.
So Michael's still not convinced that the tush push is a real thing.
It is. It's a thing. I've seen it. I mean, if you watch an NFL game, you can see that the tush push works because nobody can figure out how to stop it. So Jalen Hurts and the boys have figured out how to do it. So, but they are trying to get that banned. So we'll see what happens in the NFL next year. All but one team, I think, last year when they did the vote last season or before this season started, only one team other than the Eagles, it has to be unanimous, but only one team other than the Eagles voted no on the push. So everybody else is like, yeah, get rid of it. They don't like it. I think, but the thing is about the tush push, figure out how to stop it. If you can't figure out how to stop it, then what's the problem?
It's called a powerful defensive line.
That's right. It's called we're going to run over you, and you can't figure out how to get out of the way. So
I like turtles.
Well, I like turtles too, especially the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? So, but yeah, Kentucky. I think he's safe. I think he'll be safe for another year. but he's going to have to win next year though. He can't.
So you think it's all based on their wins that they've had at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think the way they played against Texas and then beating Florida, because they have Florida's number for whatever reason. Now they didn't show up against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was a pretty powerful machine that game. Nobody could stop Pavia.
So what do you think? I'm wearing my Vandy gear today.
Yes, you are.
And I think I actually picked Tennessee on Tuesday. What do you think is going to happen today?
Okay, so let me tell you my thought on how Vanderbilt can win the game. So Vanderbilt, if they do what Alabama did and they do what Oklahoma did and control the clock and run the ball, which they have a good running attack, just make Tennessee or keep Tennessee's offense off the field, Vanderbilt will win today.
Yeah, because Tennessee's defense struggles.
Right. And, if you look at the last few games that Pavia has played and how on he's been, I don't know that it may end up being a shootout, but that's how you beat Tennessee because that's what Alabama did. That's what Oklahoma did.
And you picked Tennessee not to cover because Tennessee was 3.5 whenever we did the show Tuesday.
Right. Yeah.
And now it's actually gone in Vanderbilt's favor. Tennessee is now 2.5 instead of 3.5.
Yeah.
So apparently Vegas is also picking Pavia.
Yep. And I think I'll tell you this. I'm going to make a bold statement here, and you can say wow or you can give me a boo or whatever. If Pavia plays well, has 5 or 6 touchdowns, go ahead and pencil him in for New York. He'll be going for the Heisman.
You're convinced?
Yeah. If he has a good game today.
But he won't be picked. He'll just be going.
Oh, right. He would have to – his numbers are good, but I don't think they're good enough. I think they're all about this Mendoza kid from Indiana just because they've been undefeated and what they're doing. It's unfortunate in a year where you've got several players that have played so well. But if you look at the numbers, I think Pavia's got good numbers because he's got both rushing and passing. But I think that the latest thing I saw was that Mendoza is the favorite. But if you look at just the stats for Indiana, look who they're playing though. When you're playing teams like I like Turtles, the Maryland Terrapins, and they stink. They beat Purdue last night. Well, Purdue has won 2 games all year. And
I think Purdue is the bottom of the whole country, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they're terrible. Correctly. They've won 2 games. The teams they beat were not any good. So, but Indiana has, they've blown a lot of people out. I think the only game that's been even close has been the Oregon game and the Penn State game when they scored that late touchdown.
Yeah, because that was the last minute for them to win that, wasn't it?
Yeah, Penn State they were up for that game, and they should have won, but couldn't convert late in the game, and then Indiana went down and scored. So
let's talk about – I think we talked about my picks on Tuesday. Let's talk about your picks.
Okay.
So when we go through, you picked a not cover on Georgia versus Georgia Tech at 13.5.
Right.
We already talked about that.
Right.
We already talked about the Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Right.
We talked about the Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Now for today's covers, LSU at Oklahoma was a 10.5 spread on Tuesday.
Let's see what that currently is.
And you picked cover.
Yes, because LSU's lack of offense.
On the 10.5.
Yeah.
And LSU has traditionally struggled this year, right? So,
right. Let's see what that is. I bet you it's probably about the same. I don't know that it's changed much.
We'll see if
I haven't looked,
spread's changed.
But I think it may be still the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Exactly the same. So I guess Vegas is maybe thinking that you're in concurrence there.
Yeah, this game could be like a 24-10 or a 17-6 or a something 9.
So you think it'll be a low scoring?
Yeah, I still think. Oklahoma's got a good defense, but if you look,
the over under on that one's like 36.5.
Yeah, so you're not going to get a whole lot of points from either team. So I think this is going to be a defensive battle, but LSU's going to have to force turnovers to win. And they're going to have to give themselves a short field because if they don't do that, I just don't see them generating enough offense. So
it seems like John Mateer has turned back into the John Mateer that everybody had hoped he was going to be.
Well, yeah, it took him a few weeks after his thumb surgery to get back to it. He struggled for a while. You got to think about it. Like if you break your hand or you break your thumb, it's not going to just be like oh, I'm going to go out here and just start flinging it again. I mean, it takes a while.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to get him back out there, a week or two right after?
Yeah, it was a Texas game, and that was a rivalry game, and that was a mistake. I think that's why they lost. Because if they had just rested him another week, I think, it would have been a different story. I don't know that Oklahoma would have won, but I think it might have been a little bit different. Like, I don't think they would have lost as bad as they did either. So,
you think it was too much?
Yeah, I mean, you're putting a lot on a quarterback that's not played, and he just had thumb surgery. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just harder to throw a ball after you've been out for a while. Just look at it like this way: if you hadn't shot a basketball in a long time, and then you go try to shoot a basketball, how long is it going to take you to get back in rhythm? It's going to take a little while. So that's kind of what I compare it to. But I mean, he's played well the last few weeks. I mean, last week against Missouri, they shut Missouri down, but Missouri had chances, so they just didn't take advantage of them. But
okay, so we look at Alabama at Auburn.
yeah, that's actually dropped to a 4.5.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know why. I guess just because it's a road game.
Yeah, because this is your boys.
Yeah, that's right. Roll Tide. Roll Tide
so
all day,
you're
every
definitely
day.
a homer, and you picked the homer pick.
I did pick the homer pick, which, I mean, honestly, if you look at it, it's only dropped. I think it's dropped 2 points, so I think it's a 4.5 now. But
and we've got the interim coach
actually,
in right now, right?
5.5. So now it's 5.5. So it's dropped a point. But even then, if Alabama wins by a touchdown, they still cover. So
That's gone definitely in Alabama's favor.
Yeah. And it's a 46 total there. So 46.5, which you're looking at, 24, 23 could be the score. And you got 47 there. So, you just never know. Rivalry games, you never know, especially down in Auburn. Whatever reason, it's a house of horrors for Alabama. They always have to, pull games out at the end. And actually, the last few times they've been there, they've had to do that.
It's funny because they've got Jackson Arnold listed as the quarterback still for Auburn, and I think he's been sitting the bench the past couple games.
I think that's just your. Well, hold on. I'm gonna do a Michael here. Jared, can you read? That says seasoned leaders. So that's why he's still up there.
So now, who is their new quarterback? Right? Don't they? Who's the other guy that they've got now?
So they've got that Deuce Williams kid that played last week.
Deuce.
Yeah, but I don't think he's.
The Deuce is loose. That's what it was.
The Deuce is not going to be starting this week. So he is actually sitting on the bench. They may use him for some special packages, but
is it because of red shirt status?
I believe so. But he did start and play the entire game last week. So I guess because they wanted to rest their quarterback for this week, since they've got Alabama coming.
So they're going to be starting Arnold today.
No, I don't. I think they have another guy in his place too. Click on their depth chart here and let's see, because I cannot remember who their backup is. Why would I remember who Auburn's backup is? They're terrible.
What's the Iron Bowl? I figured you knew. You know it all.
Well, boo to Auburn. We don't care.
Where am I
that.
going?
Just look on their depth chart. Go up to the roster there. There you go. And then just look and see quarterback. Ashton Daniels. That's who's going to be starting. Ashton Daniels. He came in for Jackson Arnold after Arnold started Arnolding up. So I think after the Kentucky game is when he came in.
So Ashton Daniels is the one that maybe I'm thinking of that's been playing all the games since they benched Arnold.
Yeah, he has been. So I think they gave him
a
week off.
They just had Deuce come out for like 1 week, one game or something.
Yeah, and I have heard they are going to try to do a few special packages. So, Deuce may come in to run a few plays, but if he comes in, he's going to run the ball. I mean, that's just what Alabama's got to prepare for. So, but, in these games too.
So do you think this is going to be a blowout? I think you picked cover, but cover doesn't really tell the story of what your thoughts are.
So my thoughts are, it's really going to depend on Ty Simpson and if he can be accurate and stop turning the ball over. He's got a turnover in the last 7 games in a row. Now, Alabama has won most of those, except for the Oklahoma game where they had 3 turnovers that pretty much killed them. But I think if he can get back to the Ty Simpson he was earlier in the season, I think Alabama will control the game. Now, they did run the ball well last week. They beat Eastern Illinois of all teams. Woohoo! But
yeah, it was that was a big drama because all the other conferences, SEC's doing cupcake week.
Well, you know what? When you play an SEC schedule like Alabama and some of these guys have, you deserve a cupcake week. So, put some sprinkles on that cupcake while you're at it. Good grief. I mean, you got to have one guy. I mean, you've gone through a gauntlet of, I mean, Alabama went through Oklahoma, they went through Tennessee, they had LSU, they had Missouri, you know, they had a bunch of just tough teams in a row, Vanderbilt. I mean, so you look, they played 4 ranked teams in a row and beat them all. So you gotta have a cupcake in there somewhere. So,
Not quite like Indiana's schedule.
well, no, that whole schedule is a cupcake. I mean, they might as well they could have put their fans out there in some of those games and played, and they could have scored. So, you know, I work with a few people that are Ohio State fans too, and some of the things that they talk about. Oh, well, you know, SEC's not that good. Well, Ohio State, who have you played outside of Texas? Nobody. I mean, that's the problem that you have with these guys is that the Big Ten they don't schedule hard teams. They schedule like Ohio. Ohio State played Ohio. Like, why? So you could be the king of Ohio? Because who else is in there that's any good? Nobody. You are the king of Ohio. So that's it. You're the only Ohio team that has any relevance. So, you know, I look at some of those teams and when people start talking about the SEC, oh, the SEC doesn't play anybody. You come down here and play everybody, and then we'll see how well you do.
Well, you look at now. I mean, we sit there and we say, okay, well, look at Texas A&M last night, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, then you go back and you look at Texas A&M versus South Carolina. Right? I think South Carolina went up on them big time in the first half, and then Texas A&M came back and cleaned the clock.
Right.
But I thought that was going to happen last night for a little while there.
Yeah, it looked like it. But, you know, Texas offense has struggled too. You know, Texas has not been consistent. And, you know, that's cost them in some games too. I mean, they should have lost to Mississippi State, you know. But
very much like a mirror of South Carolina, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, there's just been a lot of inconsistency. You know, Arch Manning, they thought he was going to be, you know, great and do all these great things. And he's done well in spurts, but he's not been very consistent, like, across the board. Like, he struggled at Kentucky. He struggled in all the games that they played on the road. Had that game been at Texas A&M last night, Texas A&M probably would have won. But when you look at Texas A&M, I know you and Michael have both said too, if you look at the games they've already played, they're playing the lower end of, you know, the conference. Now, of course, ahead of time, they didn't know that was going to be like that. I mean, nobody knew South Carolina was going to stink it up. Nobody knew. I mean, Arkansas, I guess we kind of figured they would not do very well.
Yeah, when they booked that schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those schedules are done, 3 years in advance or something like that.
Yeah, and I think that's all going to change next year. Like, you know, when they change you've got your 3 permanent teams that you're playing for the next 3 or 4 years.
Oh, so yeah, the 3 locked in.
Right.
But you being a Bama fan, are you happy with your 3 permanents?
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, I knew Auburn and Tennessee would be that those 2, but the one that surprised me was Mississippi State. But that's just because
that's going to be good at this point right now.
Yeah.
Looking at what we're looking at, that'd be good for Bama.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it'll change again. You know, in 3 or 4 years, it'll change again. I think Alabama would probably or Mississippi State would probably go off, and they would probably either put Ole Miss or LSU possibly on there, because those are the teams. You think about it, before we had the divisions, so Alabama played always. The West was always tougher than the East most years.
Yeah, most years it was. Yeah.
So they had to go through, you know, Ole Miss and LSU and Auburn and Arkansas. Like, so you just that side of the conference was always seemed to be the tougher side. I like that they've kind of opened it up and they've got that nine game schedule, but you know, you just don't know what you're going to get from year to year. I mean, you're going to schedule teams, yeah, but I mean, nobody knew who was going to do what. Like, they thought, I mean, most people thought Ole Miss would do well this year, but Ole Miss has played some good games, and then they played they played a lot of tough teams too. So you just got to play who's on your schedule. And so with Mississippi State, I do like that one just because it's a proximity thing for Alabama. They played them quite a few times.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. Starkville is like right on the border, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about. I think there's 80 miles in between them, so it's not far. Of course,
almost like 100 miles of hate.
Yeah, Western and MTSU, but Western has owned that one the past few years. So.
Yeah, I was about to say that's.
Your MTSU boys have forgotten that. Well, that's what happens when you have Derek Mason as your
I was
coach.
about to say, speaking of, what do you think about them keeping Derek Mason? I think Michael and I talked about this on the show, And I was like, well, they get half off if they let him go next year.
you get the
Get
half,
the
half
50% off discount
right.
if you let Derek Mason go next year. So
Yeah, well, I expect that MTSU will probably have another year like they did this year. I think, if you ever look at ESPN, one of the funny things they have on there is the bottom 10. And so MTSU actually played Sam Houston State, which was also in the bottom 10, and they called it the pillow fight game of the week. Because both of them are so bad that you got to just, it's just bad. So if you ever get a chance, usually midweek, ESPN will put the bottom 10 on there, and it's just some funny things that this guy talks about. But
yeah, I want to say that MTSU had like the lowest strength of schedule or like the bottom 10 strength of schedule in the whole country, if I remember correctly.
yeah, they're down there.
When we were looking at it.
Yeah, 135.
Yeah, the power ranking of 135 and out of 136.
Well, you know why they're 135 out of 136?
And the Massachusetts Minutemen are like the only 0-11 team in the country.
They lost the other night. They lost, so they've lost I think 16 or 17 in a row. So now, yeah, let me tell you how bad. This will give you some of my sports knowledge and expertise here. So a few weeks ago, UMass was playing. I don't remember somebody. They kicked a field goal. They were down 45-3. They kicked a field goal and shot off fireworks because they kicked a field goal. Like if you're that bad that you have to shoot off fireworks when you score a field goal, like
they've got a backstash of fireworks in the round.
Yeah, I guess so. They got something. So
they got some extra fireworks.
That's right. Well, apparently they didn't shoot them off at the 4th of July. So.
Well, they should have traded it off with Vanderbilt. That first game with Vanderbilt, they ended up shooting off all their fireworks, and they said, "Oh, we'll have more fireworks next time." We had too many scores.
Well, yeah, they should have just borrowed them from old UMass because they didn't score any.
That's right. That's right. They could have loaned theirs over to Vandy.
Well, like I said, when you score a field goal and you got to shoot off fireworks, then that's pretty bad. Like you stink. Like who would want to go to play there? Like, I mean, I guess you would get playing time, but why would you want to go there?
Hey, it's our chance, Ray Gunn. We'll go back to graduate school and
get our 4 years of eligibility back.
D1 at UMass.
Or what? You know what? I'll go be the field goal kicker so I can get fireworks.
That's right. You get some fireworks.
That's right.
I could be my dream linebacker role for once.
That's right. Yeah,
I'd be like the superstar of the team.
Yeah. They give you a helmet sticker for making some tackles.
You actually tackled somebody.
All right, yeah. You prevented a touchdown. There you go, a helmet sticker for you. So, well, let's look at a couple other games for today and see what we've got going on here. So it looks like I did see scroll back up for a second. I did see some scores there. Looks like Michigan's up on Ohio State.
Oh, sorry, what?
6-3. Well, you got to hit some 3-run homers in this game apparently because there's no offense. So, and then Miami's up 10-7 on Pitt right now.
Okay, so what happens? So now this kind of brings back up the Vanderbilt scenario. Mm-hmm. What happens if Michigan wins this?
What we don't want, they'll be in the playoff. I'm sure they'll find a way for them to get in.
So now Vandy gets booted anyway.
Right. So you want Michigan to lose. Vanderbilt has to be an Ohio State fan today.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And Miami is up on Pitt.
Somebody says, Jrod, why Vandy? Oh, apparently I'm somebody's favorite too. Why Vandy, Jared? Well, I guess they don't know that you went there for your grad school. He went there for his grad school. Get his MBA.
Yes, I got my MBA from Vandy, my undergrad from UT. So
that's right.
Today is a very confusing day for me.
Jared is house divided, except he's half divided.
I'm in the divided one. I am the divided house.
Let me cut you in half, and you can figure out which one to glue back together.
No kidding.
Which colors?
No kidding.
Right. All right, so let's keep going with our picks, I guess, and see what else I may or may not have gotten correct. Let's see. Go back up. Okay, Vanderbilt, Tennessee. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on the Vanderbilt-Tennessee game?
I did pick Tennessee to cover. I think Pavia is going to be surprised at the decibel levels and the environment at Neyland.
You don't think that he didn't experience that enough at Alabama? Because they were rocking there too. Now I know it's it's an afternoon game. I know it's louder at Neyland.
I was about to say, you've seen my my data.
Yes.
Neyland is the loudest
I have
place.
been there when Alabama played at Tennessee. You and I went, and you got to have a lot of coffee that game because Alabama's running back named Coffee ran all over them. So
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember who was the coach at that time. It wasn't Fulmer.
I don't remember who that was. It was 2009, I believe, 2008 or 2009.
Yeah,
when
I
we
think
saw that.
Fulmer was gone at that point.
Yeah, it could have been one of
That
your-
was the dark years for Tennessee.
dark
dark years. So you know, I don't like to talk about those years.
You got to go back and stick your head under the covers and not worry about those.
Yeah. For folks that don't know, Reagan does not like coffee, and I used to always tease him and say, "Hey, do you want some coffee?"
Oh, all the time.
And he would get
still
all
asks me
upset.
that.
He still gets agitated by it.
Well,
And it just so happened that Alabama's running back that year was Coffee. His name
Yeah.
was Coffee.
so the entire game, I got to say, "Would you like some coffee?"
Oh, it was terrible. One of the worst Tennessee games I've ever been at because Reagan's sitting behind me. Would you like some coffee? Would you like some
right.
coffee?
That's right. So we, apparently somebody just did something. We had a loud scream over there. I don't know. Somebody did something.
Got some excitement going on.
I think Ohio State just scored, so that's what they're screaming.
Ah,
at.
got some Ohio
just
State
went
fans
up
here.
9-6 with extra point coming. So
Speaking of, you need to come on out, have a beer with us, have some food with us. We're at East Nashville Beer Works, Wilson County, off of Highway 109, just south of 40. And good times. Great
Good
food
times.
here.
yeah,
great
last time I got
drinks.
some pizza. It was really good.
Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I haven't gotten any food yet because we were prepping for the show, but I'm definitely going to grab some after the show. I'm starving to death.
Well, you know, today is Thanksgiving for my family, so I'll be
You're gonna get
enjoying
some
all
turkey.
the turkeys and
Turkey time.
turkey time and all the casseroles. All right, so question for you, since we're talking about that for a second, what's your go-to for Thanksgiving? What's your go-to food?
Oh, you know, my wife hates the breaded stuff.
Oh,
What's
the
it-
stuffing?
stuffing.
Oh, I'm with her. I hate that. Ugh.
I love stuffing.
So let me tell you about that. I used to, when I was growing up, we used to have that, and whatever is in it, every time I'd eat it, bleh, every
can't
time,
stand it.
I could not eat it. So like a few years ago, they were like, "Oh, you, my family. Oh, you've outgrown that." Yeah, same thing, bleh, everywhere. Like, I'm not eating that stuff. Can't have it. So
Well, and the other thing was, and you've met Momo.
right.
Momo always used to make like these rolls. You know, those really soft rolls.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then she would make like hot apples.
Okay.
So, and I'd put the apples with
In
a
the
little bit
roll?
of butter in the roll.
Ah, now that sounds good.
It's good stuff.
Mm.
Good stuff. Almost like a mini apple pie.
Ah, now that you can't go wrong with. Mine would probably be, I'm going to have to go dessert and say pumpkin pie because that's the only time you really can have pumpkin pie.
Oh, you're a pumpkin pie. You know, EJ has pumpkin pie 24 hours a day, every day.
Oh, he's just turned into a pumpkin.
He is a pumpkin pie.
Yeah, that's it's a good one. I like pumpkin pie. I just can't do the stuffing. Like if I had to pick something outside of that, I would probably go to. I'm gonna say the green bean casserole is really good. You know, you got the onions on top.
Oh, yeah,
Not
yeah.
the whatever the fried onions or whatever. That just makes it good.
The fried onion, like a little bit of breading on there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
That's
have
good
that.
stuff. I'm
Yeah.
getting hungrier now.
All right, hungry hippo over
I'm a
here.
hungry hippo now.
Yeah.
So when we look at the CFP, right?
Right.
And I'm trying to think, Bama, who was it expected that Bama was going to face off in the playoffs?
If they played, if they played this week, like going off that, they would have a road game at Ole Miss, so it'd be an SEC game
So they were going to be playing Ole Miss
at Ole Miss. Yeah,
at Ole Miss.
right. Because they're the 10 right now, and Ole Miss is the 7. So honestly, what I was hoping for but didn't happen was
So is Texas A&M going to lose their bye?
probably yeah.
So who's going to take that bye?
So here's what I
Can't
think.
be Texas Tech.
No, I think honestly, if
Ohio State wins today, they get their bye.
right, they'll keep their bye. But whoever, so basically,
Is Indiana
Ohio-
playing today? They already
They already
played Purdue
played.
yesterday, right?
So they pretty much if,
So they've secured a bye.
if Ohio State wins, those two teams will play each other in the Big Ten championship game next week.
Oh, yeah.
So
Indiana
one
and
of
Ohio
them-
will play each other.
What will happen is one of those two will probably drop to 3, whoever loses, because I mean it's a 1 versus 2, so I don't think that you're
And
not,
right now, 1 versus 2 in the SEC is going to be Georgia and
either Alabama. If Alabama wins, Alabama will play Georgia. If Alabama loses, then Ole Miss goes, and it'll be Georgia versus Ole Miss. So, but what I was hoping for was for Texas A&M to win last night, and then Alabama beat them in the SEC championship game. But thanks a lot, A&M. You stunk it up. So now Alabama's going to have to play Georgia again if they win. And, that's going to be another those games are always, like, close. Those two always play really good games, and Alabama's
it's like a repeat, though.
Right.
How many times has that game been played like that?
Where Alabama, Georgia in the SEC championship game? They've played at least 4 or 5 times. I think Alabama has actually won the last few that they played. The last being in whenever Georgia won the national championship. So, yep. So you've got, if you look back at we'll go up a little bit because I know they played in like 20. So they played in 2012.
So they've already seeded Georgia as the 1 seed, huh?
Well, they just got them in there. Because of the higher ranking they have right now, because they only have 1 loss. So if Alabama had only 1 loss, then they would be the higher seed. But, I mean, really it doesn't matter because either way, you're still in it. So who cares? It just the higher seed means you get to wear a different color jersey.
So A&M only has 1 loss.
Right. Now they have 1 loss. So they're pretty much their season's
Georgia
done.
only has 1 loss in the
Right.
SEC.
And Ole Miss has 1 loss.
And Alabama has
1 loss, SEC loss, but they have 2 losses overall.
So there's 4 1-loss SEC teams.
Right.
And so then it's head-to-head and winning percentages and all that other stuff.
But because Alabama beat Georgia, and Georgia, I don't know how it all works. It's all the math and all that.
That's why I was like, when they said, oh, yeah, well, if they have 1 loss, this will be their 1 SEC loss, and then they won't be playing in it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I don't
like
know.
at the very last of the year, you have 1 loss, and now you're no longer playing in it.
I don't know, because, see, Georgia didn't play A&M. And then Georgia played Ole Miss, and Georgia played Alabama. And Georgia lost to Alabama but beat Ole Miss. But I don't know how that factors in.
All the head-to-heads is so complicated.
Yeah, and I don't know if it just that comes into, like, if it's a ranking thing or what it is for A&M. Because, again, that's their only loss was yesterday. So I don't know how that all ties in. We'd have to go and look at it. That'd be another rabbit hole. But
looking back at Alabama-Georgia games, in 2023, Alabama played Georgia in the SEC Championship. 2021, Alabama played Georgia in the SEC Championship. 2018, Alabama played Georgia in the SEC. 17. There was 1. Oh, my gosh. Then there's another in 2012.
Yeah, so they've played several times.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5. So this will be the 6th time.
In the last 10 years, 15 years?
Yeah, about the last 15 years. So but those, if you look at those programs, though, look at all the ones that have won the SEC.
I feel like there was a year where it was like they played in the SEC championship, then they played again for national championship.
2018.
I thought that was the case.
Yeah.
They didn't play in season that year?
No, actually, no. Hold on. It was 2021. That was the year because Alabama had just won it the year before. And so there was 2021.
That
Alabama
was the
beat
Saban
them,
era, right?
Right. Alabama beat them in the SEC championship game, and Georgia was supposed to smoke them. And then Georgia ended up beating them in the national championship game. But Alabama's best receiver got hurt in that game.
But they didn't play during the regular season, though,
didn't.
because we were still conferences at that.
Yeah, they were still East
and West at that time, right?
Yeah. So when they did finally play, the last time they played in 2023 was when Alabama went to the playoff. The last time they went to the playoff. That was the last year they had the 4 teams, and they lost to Michigan in overtime.
So crazy sitting here saying that Alabama didn't make the playoff last year and Tennessee did.
Yeah, it is.
And then Nico just kind of pooped in the bed right out the gate. I'm still convinced Nico was ready to leave. He had already started trying to negotiate for more money before the game, almost like he was using the national championship as leverage to get more money out of Tennessee.
Well, apparently the rest of the team forgot to get the memo.
It worked out real well for him, didn't it?
Yeah, because look what he's doing at UCLA right now.
Yeah, so the Joey Aguilar story, I saw something funny that was like a meme. It was like, this is the Las Señoras or La Mamacitas
Ah,
with Diego Pavia's mom, Joey Aguilar's mom.
that's right.
The Battle of the Mothers.
The Battle of the Mothers. Yeah, it should be. I think it'll be a good game today. I really do. Like I said earlier, I think Vanderbilt wins if they control the ball. If they can control the clock, they will win. But we know that Tennessee can go down the field really quickly and score too. So I think
Well, Tennessee's ability to score is just crazy. I mean, they have to slow it down. It's so crazy.
yeah. Well, you can only go breakneck speed for so long before you're like going to wear your players out too. So, but I
When
think
somebody was talking about how the Tennessee situation causes problems for the defense because the defense is always out there because they're just score, go, score, go, score. Go.
right. So that's if you keep their offense off the field, you have a better chance at winning, and that's what Alabama did in their game. Of course, that interception right before halftime helped with that too.
Yeah.
But then
Nothing like a turnover.
that's right before the half, the last play of the game, last play of the half, just return it for a touchdown. Say, in your face.
In your face.
That's right. So, but yeah, I think it'll be a close game. I think Vanderbilt. It will probably be a shootout, but I still think Vanderbilt's going to win. I'm going to stick with him.
You're picking Vanderbilt.
That's right. Well, just because I can't stand Tennessee, so I will.
So,
pick anybody.
how relevant is Florida State at this point?
That would be. I think I classified that the other night as bad versus worse, because you've got two programs that should be good,
But are
that
terrible.
are not. Yeah, they're terrible. So, Florida being at the Swamp, I think they have a better chance. Florida State has a few wins, but most of their wins are against, other than Alabama, are against like nobodies. So, you're beating the bottom of the ACC. Like
Who has Florida State lost to? I can't remember.
they've lost 5 games, I believe, either 5 or 6. Let's look and see real quick. Oh, they're 5 and 6. Okay, yeah. So they lost to Virginia, Miami, Pittsburgh, Stanford, Clemson, all of those, and then NC State. So
Stanford is not good.
no, they are not. They're the Fighting Trees over there, and they're beating you.
That's not good.
No, I mean,
Now, Pitt, Virginia, Miami, that's pretty good.
Right.
I mean, that's a legitimate resume.
yeah, and I will say that the Virginia game.
And then the Clemson fan here, she'd be all excited about that one where Clemson took out Florida State.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, Florida State started off with, but after the Alabama game, let's look and see who they played. East Texas A&M. I mean, did Texas A&M loan some players that aren't playing? Like, here, you can have
It's
these
like
guys.
Texas A&M junior
That's
varsity.
right. Here, we're just going to give you the people on the East Coast. Here, the East Coast of Texas A&M, you have those guys. Like, here, you get our scrubs. And then they played, the Golden Flashes of Kent State. Ooh. And then
when
play,
they don't have a logo on ESPN's website or on YouTube's website,
you're not good.
probably a bad sign.
I don't even know. I think East Texas A&M is the Buffaloes, but they didn't do any Buffalo in that game. I think they left the Buffalo at home. So
Yeah, all the mascots.
that's right. So, but yeah, I mean, I think what killed Florida State was that in overtime to Virginia, because that catapulted Virginia for their season. They've been on fire since. But yeah, I think
So you think Virginia's going to be the ACC champion?
yeah, I think so. They have to beat Virginia Tech today, but I think they're good enough that they could win it.
So that spot should likely be Virginia, not Miami.
Right. Yeah. So if Miami will keep stinking it up and lose to Pitt, then we won't have to worry about Miami anymore.
But if Miami wins,
Well, they still can't get in. They'll have to have a lot of help.
so if Miami wins, they don't have the help they need.
Then they don't get into the.
So who's going to be playing in the ACC championship game?
Well, it could be SMU. It could be. Let's see. Could be Pittsburgh. Could be SMU.
And
Or
Pitt
could
is
be
playing Miami today.
Right, they're playing right now. So
Now you've got 3 teams that all have 1 losses.
in right, yeah,
Virginia,
in the conference.
Pittsburgh, Pitt, and SMU. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so out of those, then it's going to be what, like head-to-head comparisons?
I believe so. And then there's, like I said, there was a list longer than my arm of like some of the things that had to happen for some teams to get in. Like one of them, if they just won, I think if Virginia wins, they get in.
So why would ESPN and why would the CFP be putting Miami in the ACC slot?
I don't understand that. I don't know why. The only thing that I can think of is that Notre Dame win at the beginning of the year. That's the only thing because they really. I mean,
but
the
it's the conference champion though that's
Right,
going to be
should be
guaranteed.
in.
That's
Right.
not your ranking; it's your championship. Correct?
Right. Yeah, it should be. So Miami, I guess, is being looked at as an at-large right now, but they're going to have to.
But every time I see it, it's got that little golden box around it, which means it's not the at-large.
Right. So they would have to win, but they're going to need a lot of help to get in to the.
Yeah, we had a clip that Michael did, ended up going viral around that entire conversation.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just don't think that
there's some Miami bias going on.
I don't know why, because they're not as good as everybody's giving them credit for. So, but
so let's say one of those teams ends up going, and another one goes, and one of them loses. Now there's a 2-loss team. Does that mean they're going to try to put Miami above that 2-loss team?
as far as the playoff goes,
So they go to the championship.
oh if Miami went to the championship,
Well, no. Let's say Miami doesn't go to the championship. Let's say it's Virginia versus Pitt,
okay,
right?
all right.
One of them is going to lose, and then they're a 2-loss.
Well, but overall, it would
None of them are ranked high enough to make it.
no. So if Miami doesn't go, Miami doesn't go to the ACC championship game. Whoever wins, so if Virginia wins, say they won that, they are going to be
They're going to be the automatic bid
right.
from the ACC.
They'd be the automatic bid, and they would be 11-2. So that's the only thing that you're thinking about here is if you've got a 3-loss conference champion, which could very well be if Pittsburgh ends up getting in there and winning, they would be 10-3. So what do you do then? Because then you have to put them in because they won the conference.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got 3 losses, but only
Right.
1 loss in the conference.
Right.
And Miami has 2 losses, but those 2 losses are both in conference.
Right. They're both in conference. One was to Louisville, and the other was to who was the other one? Oh, I don't remember who they lost. Who was the other one? Louisville and SMU. So SMU is above them in the conference because they've only got 1 loss too.
But SMU also has 3
They've got
overall losses.
3 overall losses. Yeah.
And
So
only
it's
one in
very well
conference.
possible that we will see a 3-loss team in the playoff, but it would be the ACC champion. So.
But if Virginia does,
Then they would be, yeah. As long as Virginia wins today, and if they were to win the ACC, then they would be 11-2. So, and their losses are to
yeah,
NC
Virginia's
State.
playing Virginia Tech.
Right.
Is Virginia Tech any good this year?
No,
3-8. They're
Right.
the ones that fired their coach.
The
that
fighting-
now
the new fighting James Franklins
Franklins.
are coming in. So you know, the fighting James Franklins, which it'll probably take him a couple of years to turn that program around. I don't think it'll be instant. You know.
You don't think that the NIL portal is going to help James Franklin turn it around this year?
Not as quickly as he thinks it's going to be. I think you look at North Carolina. Of course, I'm a Tar Heel by birth because of my mom. But if you
Yeah,
look at,
because you look at the top dog from the NFL.
yeah, and they haven't done anything at North Carolina this year. It takes time to build a program. And
What's his name?
Belichick?
Belichick?
Bill Belichick. Yeah, he's forgot his check this week.
Yeah, I forgot his name because I was too busy thinking, oh my gosh, he's got a girlfriend that's like 12.
That's right. She's a young one for sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep going through our picks here and see what we got. I know got a couple more that we wanted to get to. So, the Missouri-Arkansas game.
So
And
what do you
then-
think about Petrino?
I think he's done enough to get himself a coaching job. I just don't think it's going to be at Arkansas. I mean, he's been in a lot of close games and a lot of close losses. I mean, if you look at Arkansas's losses, they're all close.
So
Except
when,
for like
when you
Notre
hear
Dame.
his name, what comes to your top of your mind immediately?
Can't win a big game.
Oh, you know what comes to the top of my mind?
What's that? Oh, the motorcycle?
Screaming on the sidelines.
Well, yeah, he does do a lot of that
Every
too.
game, I feel like he's doing nothing but screaming on the sidelines like a crazy.
I'm sure the referees probably have to wear like some earplugs or something.
Oh, my
'cause
gosh.
He probably wears that lineman out. Like, good grief, all the
Crazy.
time.
Crazy.
That line judge, I'm sure he's probably yelling in his ear all the time. So,
Oh, Petrino. Yeah, the motorcycle thing.
yeah. Well, I mean, any game that you watch with him, he is screaming at somebody. He's always yelling. Like, I don't know
Always.
how he has a voice. Like,
Always.
he must have
Makes me think of Steve Spurrier. You know, his trademark thing was throwing his
visor.
visor, right?
Yeah, yeah. Or Nick Saban, he'd throw the whole headset. He didn't care.
Oh, he was a headset thrower. Wasn't
That's
he?
right. Until his wife told him to stop doing that. So she said, "Don't do that anymore."
What is it, Miss
Terry got onto him. That's
onto him. Yep.
She said, "You can't throw the headset anymore."
You heard Miss Terry got onto him about not vacuuming.
Oh well, maybe he needs to go see Mama.
She said he needed to vacuum.
Tell Mama.
I thought about you and the vacuuming.
That's right. Me and Mama doing the vacuuming over there. But I think Missouri wins today. I think they win more. I think it'll be
Well, Drinky just got an extension, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of extensions, Clark Lee at Vanderbilt, 6 years.
Yeah,
So,
Michael was really excited about that one.
Yeah, I think I saw they aired that on game day this morning. He showed it to the players, and
So is that Jrod kid going to go to Vandy? Is he going to drop the commitment to Georgia?
hey, I don't know. That's hard because you're going.
Bobby was talking like he was going to.
Yeah, I mean he's gone back and forth a couple of times between Georgia and Oregon. He did that earlier in the year, and then I don't know. I mean, that'd be huge for Vanderbilt.
Because he visited whenever Vandy had game day there.
Right. I just don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's going to have enough weapons around him. I mean, you're going to have to go into the portal to get guys because Pavia is going to be leaving, and some.
Oh yeah, the seniors,
Yeah.
senior class is like hasta la vista, and there's a lot of talent that's going to be walking out the door.
Right. So
Isn't Eli Stowers a senior too?
I believe so. Yeah. So I think he may be
Because
out.
you got Stowers, and then like a couple of his wide receivers that he always goes to are going to be leaving as well.
Right. So I think I mean it would be interesting to see because he's a local kid. He goes to Nashville Christian. I actually saw him play last year.
Did you?
Yeah, they played Mount Juliet Christian and beat them like 68-0 or something. I don't even think he played the second half. So but he was a gunslinger. You could just see him like on the sideline. I mean, he's a dual threat because he can run and throw. I don't know.
So now playing in the Christian League, is that the same as playing like
he played
5A? Does he play 5A teams?
He plays some tougher teams. Yeah, they've Nashville Christian has played some tougher teams. So I think you'd have to go pull up Max Preps or something and see their schedule. But they won the state last year, and I think they're in the final again this year. So.
But is Nashville Christian in the smaller bracket going to be?
They're in there with DCA, Friendship, and all those. Yeah. So if you look at their schedule, go ahead and pull up that. The schedule is got. Go ahead and scroll down, and it's got. So they played, Davidson Academy, Innsworth. So they played. Some
Innsworth
teams.
is a pretty good team.
Yeah. So I mean,
they beat Innsworth in overtime.
Yeah. So, and Innsworth's a bigger school than they are. So.
But I don't see any like 5A, and I'm not sure. Like when you sit there and say, okay, well, and I'm not bemoaning Christian schools by any means, right? But they tend to be smaller,
right? And
so you have less depth of team,
right?
Depth of talent. I worry about and you go into SEC ball, even if you're coming from like a top school,
right?
That's huge, that's winning 5A, going into the SEC play.
Yeah. Well, I will say this, though. You look at some of the guys. Hightower, what was his first name? Dante Hightower, I think it was first name. He went to Marshall County High School. He was a star at Alabama. And Marshall County is like a 3 or 4A size school. And then he went to New England. So, I mean, that kind of answers your question on the talent. If you're good enough, it doesn't matter what school
you came from.
So, and the difference in Georgia and Vanderbilt would be if he goes to Georgia, he'd probably have to sit a year. I don't think he'd start because you've still got Stockton there.
And you don't think he'd sit at Vanderbilt? You think he'd?
I think he'd probably start right away at Vanderbilt. I think so. Unless they brought somebody else in, I think he probably.
Well, you look at Pavia. Pavia had so much experience before getting to Vanderbilt,
right? So that's why he's so good.
And I don't know. Like I feel like, well, now we're going to have a rebuilding year at Vandy come next year.
Yeah, that's going to be the portal. Like if you can get guys in, and so if
You
you get
going
a
to
guy
recruit
like,
a quarterback out of the portal?
oh, you can get guys all over the place. Yeah, I mean they got Pavia out of the portal, so they can find somebody. It's just a matter
Pavia
of-
was a surpriser, so
right. It just depends on who you're looking for and what you're looking for. So, I mean,
that was Booker McFarland was talking about. Oh well, in the new NIL era now, you're looking at, hey, I can build a team out of nothing.
right.
I mean, Indiana was the worst team in the country, and
Right.
now
They're one of
Kirk
the best.
Signetti turned. Now, but it did take him a couple years, though,
Right.
didn't it?
Yeah.
He couldn't do it year one.
Well, but you look at Vanderbilt though, and you do have teams like people now that they see they're relevant, they may want to come to play for Vanderbilt.
No, they'll transfer.
Right.
in.
Yeah, because who wanted to play for Vanderbilt 10 years ago? Nobody.
But now
But
that
they stunk.
Vandy is the name,
Right. Now
is
they're
the
playing
brand.
better, then they want to. They'll be able to
Anchor
attract
down.
recruits. Yeah. They might anchor some guys down. We'll see about that. But yeah, I mean, as far as Jared Curtis goes, I mean, he was the number 2 rated quarterback. So you just got to look at, just talent alone. I mean, they're 12-0 this year, and I think he's got pretty good numbers. So he's 6'4", 225. I mean, that's a good sized quarterback. So I mean, that's like a linebacker almost. But if you look at his stats, go up there to the top where it says stats. You can see his stats for the season here. So this year he has 31 touchdowns.
Where am I?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
31 touchdowns, and I believe that's passing, and he also has 10 rushing touchdowns. So he's thrown for almost 2,000 yards, and he's run for over 500 yards. So you're looking at, I mean, that's the definition of a
That's pretty crazy numbers.
Yeah, it's pretty good for a quarterback. So I mean, his numbers are a little down from last year, but he probably has some guys that are a little bit older too that he can rely on to throw to or run the ball to. So you don't have to. I mean, you're blowing team out. Like you don't need to keep a quarterback in there.
Yeah, you don't need to keep going.
Right. Just go ahead and
Put the backup in.
Go ahead
Give
and get-
him a chance.
yeah. But I mean, you look at his career. He's got 123 touchdowns. He's thrown for almost 10,000 yards. So I mean, that's a good career for high school. And he played all 4 years. So you're looking at somebody who's started as a freshman. So
Well, we'll see.
yeah,
We'll
we will.
see.
Be interesting to see what he decides.
And so you saw him play at Mount Juliet Christian. huh?
Yeah, I saw him take my old Saints to the woodshed.
Smoke the woodshed with the Saints.
That's right. Well, the Saints aren't a football power, so they used to be soccer when we were there. So
That's right. I remember you and I played on the
Played on the Webb's Field of Dreams.
Webb's Field of Dreams.
Yeah, I don't. Now it's the Webb's Field of Football. So got all the football going on there.
So when we look at the rest of the games, you already picked all these others as well. So looking down through here, Arkansas, Missouri. We talked about Florida State.
Yep.
I mean, we got the whole slate.
Yeah, I think we're looking good. I mean, we got a good fun day of football. We had some yesterday. Today should be fun too. It's always good to watch rivalry week and teams you just never know. I mean, it's just one of those things where you got to show up and be ready because the other team's ready to ruin your season. Auburn's, that's what their goal is, to try to ruin Alabama's rest of their season.
They try to ruin everything that Alabama does.
They try. So
But with good old Freezy, they couldn't do it.
he froze himself. He's in the Antarctica right now. He's frozen, so he's not coming back from anything like that. So
Well, you've got to get to your little Thanksgiving, and
That's
I'm
right.
feeling
Well,
some hunger pains. So
I'm gonna rep my Western Kentucky one more time here.
terrible towel going on. I think it's that one right there right now.
Oh, okay, over here. All right. Well, we got our Go Hilltoppers today. Got a chance to get to the Conference USA championship game, playing Jacksonville State, the Gamecocks.
So are they also going to be in the playoffs as well?
No,
or no?
but they'll go to a bowl. But Western can't ever get to a big bowl because they're in Conference USA. I mean, they'd have to go 12-0 or something. So, but they do get props for playing well against LSU last week. So
Is Tennessee Tech going to be in the?
they are in the playoffs. Tennessee Tech is. So I think they were. I don't remember. We'd have to look. But I think they're in the top
They're a top seed. I think they have a first-round bye. So,
Nice.
yeah, so the Golden Eagles.
The Golden Eagles.
That's right, Golden Eagles.
You about ready to wrap it up there, Red Gun?
Yes, sir. It's been great being on here. I appreciate you having me. Anytime you need another guest, I'll be available.
Thanks for sitting in.
That's right. Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Anchor down.
Roll Tide. Yeah, anchor down as well today. Beat those orange guys.
This has been a production of Abbott Scott.
What? Oh, yeah.
I think Neyland is going to rock, and I think Poppy's going to be in for an eye opener. Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to communicate.
Yeah, but I mean, he has been in those situations already.
And
Alabama,
not in Neyland.
Texas. No, not in Neyland, but I don't think it. I mean, it's going to affect them. I won't say that, but I think I don't know, man. It's put up or shut up for Vandy. So
Loudest college football stadium is Neyland Stadium at the University of Tennessee. So Texas wins this.
mm-hmm.
There are already 3 losses.
People are going to try to put them in, I bet.
They're going to try to put them in.
But there's no room in the end if you're going to put Miami in. Who does the country? Who does?
No room in the end because of Miami, huh?
Yeah. Who does the CFP like better? I didn't tell you any names, but I said there's going to be a 10-2 SEC school get left out of the playoffs. You would go, no way.
A 10-2 SEC team that left out of the playoffs.
Is going to
So
be
if you're
left out.
in your mind, you're thinking, oh, they're talking about Alabama. Or in your mind, you're thinking, oh, they're talking
Florida,
about Georgia.
Tennessee.
Or, oh, they're talking about Florida. Oh, they're talking about, but because it's Vandy, then you say, oh, they shouldn't be in.
Here's my question as a Vandy fan. If Pitt beats Notre Dame, do they jump Vandy in the standings that far from 22 to over 14?
Ooh, man. I don't know.
Surely, I hope not.
Pitt's got 2 losses against West Virginia and Louisville.
Yep.
Louisville's ranked now, isn't it?
Yeah, but they just got beat. That's the MAC conference for you. They play. They play any night during the week.
Any night that'll.
Yeah.
We want to get to be on TV.
Yeah, they'll play any night that ESPN will put them on TV. Yeah, you think they pull the upset?
Go Drinky. This is Drinky proving that he should be the Florida coach right here.
I don't think Drinkwitz is going. He's got a better chance of leaving than Lane Kiffin. Of the two, I think Drinkwitz leaves before Kiffin does.
Yeah, I don't think Missouri's that good of a job.
No, but he's made a